Despite Trump's multiple profanity-laced tirades, he still managed to get elected president in 2016. Or perhaps it was because of his coarsely aggressive attacks on his opponents. Apparently, many Americans believed the majority of elected Republicans were spineless wimps, more afraid of the press than the American people, and were ready for a president who would stand up to the media and attack his enemies without fear of censure. However, that makes him an intensely polarizing figure in the middle of a severely polarized nation. Whatever we may think about Trump, there's nothing new about him. He's not the first leader to act and speak inconsistently, nor will he be the last. Earlier this week, we read about the boy king who stood boldly in the temple as his evil grandmother Athaliah was overthrown and killed, 2 Kings 11. Long into his 40-year reign, he was faithful and even rebuked the Levites for failing to repair the temple. Caring for the temple was their job, and they were barely pretending to care about its upkeep. 2 Kings 12 and 2 Chronicles 24. Based on that, we would expect him to remain faithful forever. But we would be wrong. Like most politicians, Joash turned out to be a go-along to get-along king. As the years unfolded, we learned that he was influenced by whomever had his ear. First, it was the godly priest Jehoiada, but later he listened to the media instead. When his mentor died, that is Jehoiada the high priest who protected him as a child, Joash turned to God's enemies, the professional politicians and media of the day, and listened to them instead of God. 2 Chronicles 24 verses 17 through 19. Verse 17 says, "The officials of Judah came and bowed down to the king, and the king listened to them." Because he was willing to go along with his enemies, even if they were enemies of God and by extension God's people, verse 18 says, "They abandoned the house of the Lord and served the Asherim and the idols." This brought terrible consequences on the nation. As usual, this isn't an endorsement of any candidate or political party. Rather, it's a reminder to place our trust in God instead of man. People, politicians, political parties, and nations for that matter will come and go. Only God and his word will stand forever, and that word tells of the final king, Jesus, who reigns over his kingdom today. It is not now, nor ever will be, an earthly kingdom. Instead, it is a spiritual one made up of people who have submitted themselves to King Jesus, people who listen to him and him alone, people who refuse to listen to the political and religious media of today. To whom are we listening? The king or the media? Thank you for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible on An American Missionary. Until next time, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.